I'm Anil Kumar, and now let us review what we have learned about parallel lines, skew lines, and parallel planes. As you know, parallel lines are coplanar lines that do not intersect. Skew lines are lines that do not intersect and are not coplanar. Parallel planes are planes that do not intersect. Question here for you is identify each of the following. The first one is all segments parallel to AB. So we are given the segment here. You need to identify in this diagram which are the segments which are parallel to AB. Now second question is a segment skew to BC. So BC is this segment and you need to identify all the segments which are skew to BC. And lastly, all planes parallel to BCHG, right? So BCHG is the plane right there, right? This is the plane which we're talking about, BCHG. You need to find planes parallel to BCHG. You can pause the video, answer the question, and then check with my suggestions. So let's now consider all segments parallel to AB. Now AB is here. AB is parallel to CD, so we have one which is CD, right? So CD is parallel to AB, and then AB is parallel to FG, so FG is one which is parallel. Are there any other segments which are parallel to AB? Well, some of you might think that EF is parallel, but remember EF and AB are not in the same plane, right? AB forms two planes. One is ABCD, the other one is ABGF. So we have to look in same plane. Parallel lines are coplanar, but this is skew line. It's in a different plane. Okay, I hope that makes things very clear. And there's a clear distinction between skew and parallel lines, right? So that is apparent from here. So we say EH is not parallel to AB, right? So note EH is not parallel to AB, right? So make a note of this. It is in fact skew, correct? Since it is in different plane, correct? Now let's get back into the next question, which is a segment skew to BC. So now we are considering all skew segments. That means different plane. Now when you're talking about BC, then BC you can consider the plane ABCD, right? A plane ABCD has BC. If you see the plane FGHE, well, these are two different planes, so the segments in this plane will be skew, right? So let's write them down. So FG is a skew segment. So let's say FG. Then FE is skew, and EH is skew. Now the question is GH skew? No, it is not. Since as you see, GH and BC are in the same plane, they are parallel segments, right? So note GH is a segment which is parallel to BC, right? Not skew, not skew. Since they are coplanar, right? So that is one plane. Do you see that? So that is very important to understand. Well, let's continue. There are more segments which are skew segments to BC. Now BC is also in a plane BCHG. Do you see that? So if you isolate a plane which is parallel to this ADEC, you can figure out there are two other segments which could be skew. So AF and DE. So AF and DE are also the segments which are skew to AB. They do not lie in that plane, correct? And nor will they intersect. Do you understand the concept? So these are all the examples which are the examples for skew segments. Now the last question here is all planes parallel to the plane BCHG. So BCHG is the plane which we are talking about, is right there on the back side, right? So the plane which is parallel is ADEF, right? So ADEF is the plane which is parallel to BCHG. So these two are parallel planes, right? I hope with this you get fairly good idea about parallel lines, skew lines, and parallel planes. Thank you.